everyone, I'm Erin Bassett, and today I'm going to show you how you can use your ScanNCut to create a wreath like this. Okay, so to get started with this project, let's head on over to Canvas Workspace. Now, Brother gives you this free with your ScanNCut. In fact, even if you don't have a ScanNCut, you can go ahead and download this. There is a Mac version and a PC version, and there's also a cloud-based version. So you choose which one works for your situation. Now, for this tutorial, I'm using the Mac version. And so there may be some small differences between the two on how they operate. So to get started, I'm going to click on this icon on the left hand side up at the top. It says Canvas Projects when you hover over it. And when you click on that, then it's going to open this window that shows you a whole bunch of projects that you can make, and they're always adding to this, so it's good to check it regularly. And in that search bar, we're going to type leaf, and that will bring up some projects. And we want to click on the one that says Decorative Leaf Wreath. A little bit of a tongue twister. And it gives you all these patterns. It gives you a recipe on how to create a wreath that looks like that one in the picture right there. And it gives you a video of how to create it as well. So we're going to do it a little bit differently, but we're going to use these same leaf patterns. So go ahead and click on one of them, and that will add it to your Canvas Workspace mat so that you are able to manipulate it exactly how you want. So you can just X out of that window when you're done, and then go over and select all of the leaves that you just placed on your mat. And if you just drag right over it, it will select them. Then you can go up and click on Edit and go down to Duplicate. And that will make you a copy of those leaves that you can then just drag down to the bottom of your mat. Now you may have a couple leaves overlapping, and so to fix that, you just select it, and that little bar at the top, if you rotate it to the right or left, it will rotate your leaf for you. Now those other little bars that are all around your leaf, if you click on those and drag it in or out, it will resize your leaf. So you can go ahead and play with all those leaves, get them all situated. You can duplicate individual leaves to be able to move all over your mat and fill in, so you're not wasting any of your paper. Once you get all those leaves situated how you want, we're going to send it over to our machine. So we need to go up to File, and then go to where it says Transfer FCM File via the Internet. And you're going to click on that one, and that will send it over wirelessly to your ScanNCut machine. So then you can just click OK to get out of that. Now, before I head over to my machine, I wanted to tell you also that we're going to be cutting out smaller versions of these leaves. So you're going to come back over to your Canvas Workspace and resize these leaves smaller. I did it about, some of them 50% smaller, some of them about 70% smaller, and then duplicated them so they were all covering this whole mat. Now I'm going to use 4 different colors of paper for this project, and so I'm going to cut each of those to 6 by 6 inches and put it in a different quadrant of this mat. And so when I cut these out, I'll be able to cut out all these different color of leaves with just putting it in my machine one time. So you want to be mindful when you're placing your leaves down that they are not in between 2 of the colors of paper, because then they're just going to get cut off. And I will show you on the ScanNCut machine how you can double check to prevent that from happening. So let's head over to the machine. Okay, so now I'm over at my machine, and the first thing I need to do is prepare my mat. Now I'm using a standard tack mat. I'm going to lay down my 12 by 6 papers first. I'm going to need 2 passes through the machine, obviously, for those 2 colors and these 2 colors. I'm going to adhere those down in a minute. And then you're also going to need some 6 by 6 squares of the same material. Okay, so these are all pretty much the same thickness, so I don't think my auto blade will have a problem being able to cut all 4 of these on the same pass through of the machine. But if you think there is going to be a problem, definitely do a test cut. Now, because of the nature of this one being kind of plasticky, I went ahead and used some washi tape to be able to tack it down all the way around just so it won't move as it cuts. And I did it on this one too, just in case. Better be safe than sorry with these, right? Okay, so I'm inserting it into my machine, making sure it's butted up against these two little stops right there, and hitting that matte button. I've already sent my design over to the machine, so I'm going to hit Retrieve Data. And I sent it from the internet on my computer, but you may have chosen a different device. So pick whatever device you chose. There's our design. Now, when I planned this out on my computer, I didn't even think about down the middle is going to be half and half, right? So I need to scan this first, so I'm just going to hit that scan button and hit start. So I can see my scan clearly, and now I can move any of those leaves that are in the middle. I can either delete them or move them. So to do that, I'm just going to hit edit. And then we want to be able to lighten this so that we can see what we're doing, right? So go ahead and click on that wrench icon, and then you're just going to choose this pattern, that middle pattern right there, and click OK. And so you can see it lightened the view of what was on your mat so that you're able to move those patterns around. And now we need to get rid of these ones that are straight down the middle because those are going to get cut off. So if you just click on that leaf and then click on edit and hit that trash can, it will delete it. So we want to do it for that one and this one. So those two leaves that I didn't think of doing. Now you can fill this in if you want to squeeze on some more leaves. Maybe you want to squeeze some smaller ones in there. And to do that, you just click on Object Edit, and then you're able to click on this and just increase the number to however many you want to put on there. So once you have that second leaf, you can go ahead and just move it wherever you want to. If you want to resize it, you can click on this button right here and it will shrink it down, or of course if you hit that plus button, it will make it bigger. So you can do it however you want, and once you get those situated, you can go ahead and click OK, 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 and then go over to cut. So before you start cutting, you just want to make sure your tape is smoothed down onto your mat. Nothing is sticking up where it can catch on the blade or any of the other mechanisms in it. And then when you're ready, hit start. Okay, so it's finished cutting. I'm just going to click OK and hit that matte button, and then take this to my table. Now you're going to need an embroidery hoop for this next step, or you can use that circle that was originally on this wreath design. But I like the hoop, and you can use either piece. This is sometimes easier to use. You can tighten it up and then use that as a hook to be able to hang it up. But I like the centers of them too. And the reason I like using this instead of a paper one is it's just sturdier. So I like to use that. Now you can start rearranging your leaves however you want. And I like to use hot glue to be able to adhere those to my embroidery hoop. Now those small little leaves that we cut out, this is what you're going to do. You are going to take them and put them on some wire so that they can pop out from your wreath and just give it a lot more dimension. So these are the little baby leaves. Okay, so I'm just going to take some florist wire, and you just need a couple inches of it. And go ahead and you can use your fingers or a tool if you have one. But you just want to make a little loop right there. Can you see it? Just a little loop. That's where you're going to put your leaf stem right through that hole. So can you see how that goes right through it? Adding just a tiny bit of glue, and then I'm going to fold the stem over onto the leaf. And you want to hold it in place there for a few seconds just to make sure it's secure. And I just leave that wire just right there. It's hidden, nobody knows it's there. Okay, so we have one leaf on there, and then you can just go ahead and do the same thing, add one more, two more, however many leaves you want. So then when you're ready, you can just go ahead and add that to your wreath by twisting it around the embroidery hoop or tucking it under and gluing it on, but it'll just add a lot of personality to your wreath. So when you're finished gluing and twisting your leaves all on there, this is what it will look like. And it has just so much texture and dimension, and I love these cute little leaves just popping out all over the place. Now, if you want to take this a step further, you can go in the floral department of your arts and crafts store and get this fake wheat or whatever type of grain this is, and add some of this to add just another touch to your project. And these usually come with bendy wires in it, but you can also snip this apart. Like I am going to take it right here, snip that off. And I can just start to tuck this in, so you can see, right like that. And I'll just use my hot glue gun to glue that in. Here is our finished wreath. Now for more ideas and inspiration, visit erinbassett.com. And of course, for all things ScanNCut, go to ScanNCut.com.